Dear students, I have come with a new module, Specimen of a table. So, when we are doing a table, how you have to present it in the proper manner. There are different parts for a table. So, first one is the table number 1.1. See, if you are using in the first chapter, when we will do a project, we will write as 1.1. Second table in the same chapter, 1.2. If it's in the second chapter, 2.1. Like that, we will give the table numbers. Second point is title should be there for the table. Whatever you want to communicate through the table, that should be given as a title. Marks of students, height of students, temperature, COVID deaths in the country. So whatever the title should be there. Then head note should be there. Head note is if you are giving the company values. Then you can see that profit values, values in lakhs of rupees, values in millions, or X profit figure, or X tax figure, or profit after tax. These are the different head notes you can use. Head note meaning, again I am going to explain this in detail. That will be applicable for the entire data presented in the table. Then stubs are there, body of the table, column heading is there, row heading is there, that is the stub, and body of the table we will present the information in the body, and footnote is there. The source, if you are using a secondary data, we will mention that this is taken from the census figures published by the government 2011. So this is how we will present the data, and I am going to explain each and everything in detail. So table number is required for all the tables. I told you how you can give the table numbers, either chapter wise, or if you are giving for research, you can give the numbers, continuous numbers you have to give. So that is how you are using for reference. Now usually given at the top of the table. Always title will come at the top of the table. Now title of the table. Every table should have a title. Whatever you want to communicate through the table, we are giving it as the title. Now title is described in brief. If it's a very lengthy title, nobody will read that. Always you have to see that whatever you want to communicate in brief, you have to display that, or you have to mention that as the title of the table in a concise form. That is very important. Brief, that only people will read that. Now fourth point is contents of the table should be self-explanatory. Nobody will explain the title heading for anybody. So when they are reading itself, they should get an idea what the table is going to communicate. Now head note or prefatory notes. So this are the brief explanatory statement applying to all major part of the material in the table. So this always you have to remember, head note or prefatory note will be there. Values in rupees. Head note will be presented below the title and enclosed in brackets, within bracket, to the above the table, on the top of the table we will give within bracket, this is the head note. So footnotes also. Footnotes are used to explain the characteristics relating to the whole table. That meaning if you are using primary data, or if you are secondary data, or if you are using any information, that we are giving as a footnote, that is giving below the table. Whereas head note is above the table, and that will be applicable for the entire information in the table. Values in rupees, values in lakhs, values in millions, profit after tax, profit before tax, anything within bracket you can explain as a footnote or a head note. That meaning it will be applicable for the entire table. Now footnotes are not included in the title, captions or stubs. So this you have to remember that footnote is different and head note is different. So here values in lakhs, thousands or millions. So whatever you want to give, we can give within the bracket. Now captions. What are captions? This refers to column headings. Captions are the column headings, and what is the column representing, whether it's height or weight or temperature, that you can give as the column heading. Captions can have subheadings, male, female, or distinction, pass percentage, failed, like that you can, captions can have also subheadings. That is, you have to see that how you are going to present the data in the table. Then caption should be clearly defined. See, when the reader will look at the table, he should get an idea. So that should be clearly defined and it should be simple to understand for everyone. Now placed in the middle of the column, I am going to show the specimen, then you will get an idea where the caption will come. So caption is placed at the middle of the column, and if different units are used for different columns, unit should be mentioned with captions. Usually we will not follow that. One table we will be following the common units, but there is an option if you want to use different units, that also is possible, though it's not commonly followed. Usually caption is shown in small letters to economize space. I told you already, it's small table and in a brief table, then it will be more presentable. Readers will look at that. If it's too lengthy, with so many information. Nobody will look at the table. Now stubs. Stubs are the row headings. So stubs explain what row represents. See, like column heading, what the row explains, whether it can be male or female, whatever be that what you want to explain, you can explain with the help of stubs. So stubs should be clearly defined. Same like column headings, row headings also should be clearly defined. Then placed in the middle of the row. Just like column heading, it's always placed in the middle of the row. So that will be applicable for the entire table. Now, if different rows are expressed in different units, it should be mentioned with the stubs. Usually this method is not followed because one table we will be following one unit. But this is also possible. But this will make the table complicated. That is why we are not following that. But this is an option for that. There you can specify that each row will be represented in different units. Then you have to mention that along with the heading. Then stubs are also shown in small letters to economize the space. Now body of the table. This is the most important part of the table. That means you have to remember that the numerical information you are giving in the table. So that is the body of the table. There you will give. These are the values. So this is what you want the readers to capture the attention. So this is what you want to communicate through the table. So this is the most vital part of the table. So the body of the table contains numerical information according to the descriptions given in the captions and stubs. Male, female, or past percentage, distinction, first class. Like that they will explain that in the body of the table with the numerical values. Now footnote. This I already told you. Footnote is used when some characteristic feature or item of the table has not been adequately explained. See, we have seen what is head note. Footnote is, I told you, we will show below the table. Head note is top of the table we are expressing. Footnote we are showing below the table. So which means further elaboration. You are saying that which needs some additional or extra information. You are saying that this is a secondary data, or this is taken from census figures, this is taken from somebody else's research. So all this you can explain as a footnote. So this is for the complete description. You are giving that complete description, how you got the data, whether you collected the data, whether it's primary data or secondary data, or you are using any government sources for taking this data. Anything you can explain with the footnote. Now placed at the bottom of the table. I told you head note will come at the top of the table and footnote will come at the bottom of the table. So directly below the body of the table. Then footnotes are identified by symbols. We will give 1 star. If you want to give 3 footnotes, it's possible, or any number. So first one we will with 1 star. Second one you will show that 2 stars. Third one you will show that 3 stars. So readers will get an idea. And the corresponding stars will be there with the body of the table also. Where you are giving the numbers, those stars will be there. So that the readers can identify with the 1 star and what is mentioned in the footnote. That is how they will read the table. Now, usually used to represent the source of data or captions or stubs. X factory price or source, secondary source we have used. Or other examples, profit before tax, profit after tax, X factory price. Anything you can use as a footnote. Now, the last slide I want to show the table, specimen of a table. So table number is there, title is there, head note at the top of the table. Then we have the stub headings are there, column headings are there, body of the table, then the source is also there below the table. So this is the specimen of a table, and whenever you are preparing a table, you have to follow and you have to prepare the table as per the specimen given here. So that's very important, and this is what I want to explain with this module. Thank you.